Have a seat and get relatively comfortable. We're going to be down for a little bit today before we get up. So for those of you that maybe have tighter hips, if you normally sit on a bolster or a blanket or a block, you may want to go ahead and do that now. We're going to be here for a few minutes. So if you need something to sit on to help with posture, feel free to do that. And the first thing I want you to do is what we always do, which is close your eyes, take a deep breath in, and a big exhale. Just take the opportunity to feel into your body. Notice everything. I know I've told you before, but our bodies are different every single day. So there's cell turnover. From a physical standpoint, we actually are different every single day. And of course, we're always one day older. But we respond as well to changes in our environment, changes in the weather, changes of the season, etc. So some of you guys are feeling this perhaps as crazy allergies based on what's going on. There's all sorts of stuff. So I want you to just take extra time to check in with yourself. Notice anything that's, tender or achy or stiff. And notice the parts of you that maybe feel invigorated by the change in the weather. The parts of you that feel very alive, because it's both. So just feeling your physical state. And then you can start a nice, deep, slow inhale and exhale, which just, of course, soothes the central nervous system. It starts to bring our level of arousal down. And that affords us the opportunity to check in mentally, to check in emotionally, and even energetically. And then let's go ahead and bring palms together in front of the heart and set our intention for our practice today. And of course, that is different for each one of us. It's a very personal thing. So be really clear about your personal intention. And then take a deep inhale through the nose and exhale through your mouth. So let's just let the hands rest on the knees or thighs for a moment. Our emphasis today is going to be the upper part of the torso. So a lot of times, maybe we're doing core, maybe we're lengthening the low back. We spend a lot of time on hips because we're humans and our hips just really need a lot of attention. We don't spend as much time on upper torso. Sometimes it's neck and shoulders, but today our emphasis is the upper chest and the upper back. The idea being that we want space and openness all the way around the torso, not just on the heart, but everywhere. Muscular balance. So we're going to start bringing awareness to this area with some breath work first. So for those of you who are suffering from allergies, if you need to breathe in through your mouth a little bit or something, that's fine. But we're going to do what I like to call spherical breathing or three-dimensional breathing. So with your eyes closed, just take a very slow, deep inhale, preferably through the nose, until you feel like your lungs are full. And then just pause, relax the muscles, breathe a little more air in, and then pause and relax and breathe even a little more air in, and then just slowly exhale. So we're teaching ourselves to breathe in past the point that we normally stop. Again, breathing in until you feel like your lungs are full, and then just pausing to relax. Maybe breathing in a little towards the middle back, breathing in a little more towards your armpits, breathing into the base of the throat, and then exhale really slowly. One more time, breathing in until you feel like your lungs are completely full. And then I want you to start seeing, can you breathe a little deeper down into the abdomen? Can you maybe bring a little more air into the upper torso? What about the sides of the rib cage, the armpits, the place between your shoulder blades, up around the base of your neck, the base of your throat, and then exhale slowly. So we can actually learn to increase the amount of lung capacity that we use simply by paying attention. I'm going to be encouraging you to pay attention to your breath and to breathe in the different areas during our practice today. So just starting here in a seated position, and your legs don't have to be crossed. We're just going to inhale and push the rib cage forward, and then exhale and pull the rib cage back. It's almost like a seated cat-cow, but I want your head to stay level. So you're inhaling and you're just pushing your chest forward, and you're exhaling and you're rounding your back. Do that one more time. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, round your back. Excellent. Come back to the center. I'll mirror you today. So you're going to put your right hand on the ground. We'll all go in the same direction for a change. Slide your right hand out and then just pause. It doesn't have to be crazy far out. We need to keep your left glute really planted. Then you're going to bring your left hand behind your head. Point that left elbow towards the ceiling and then kind of roll the chest open. So it depends on your body. I kind of feel this almost as an armpit stretch. And that's where I'm going to send my breath right now. And then I'm going to exhale slowly. Extend my left arm. Bend my right elbow a little bit. Now it's a very deep side bend. I'm going to keep my left glute really planted. Now I'm going to breathe into the entire left side of my torso, more than usual. So yes, breathing in so you feel your left rib cage expand, but keep breathing in until you feel the left side of the waist opening. Keep breathing in until that air makes it into the left hip, and then exhale. One more like that. And then just slowly come back up. I'm going to put the left hand on the ground, slide it out. I want you to start with your right hand behind your head. Right elbow pokes up towards the ceiling. Roll your chest open a little bit. Breathe into your right armpit area. And then go ahead and extend your right arm, bend the left elbow a little bit, keeping right hip really grounded, and then start breathing in extra deep. Again, use your breath here not only to expand the right rib cage, but the right side of the waist and even the right hip. One more. And then come all the way up, roll your shoulders back. Excuse me for one moment. Sorry, you guys, somebody had their microphone unmuted, so that'll change things up. Good. So just taking a moment now, having opened up all the way around your rib cage and your waist and your armpits a little bit, I want you to just come to a really straight seated position with your shoulders relaxed. Lift the center of your chest up towards the ceiling, right? So the top part of the chest feels open, and create a little bit of space in the upper back. Now what I want you to feel is space in the front of the chest, space in the upper back. So a lot of times when we're opening the chest, we kind of have a tendency to pull our shoulder blades back together, right? I want you to have none of that, no compression anywhere. Shoulders are relaxed, heart is open, upper back is open, neck is relaxed. Just pause for a moment and feel that. We're going to check back in for that in the standing position in a moment too. Excellent. From here, go ahead and transition onto your hands and knees. You know the cat-cow stretches are beautiful for opening the torso because the movement mimics as it follows the breath. There's a reason that we do the breath pattern the way we do. I know some teachers teach it the opposite way, which seems a little backwards, but that's just my lineage. So the idea being this, when we inhale, the belly drops and the head and the chest lift, and that's because we're opening up the whole front side of the body so that we can really breathe in extra deep. And then when we exhale, we're rounding the back, pulling the navel in, because that's actually what happens naturally when we fully exhale, is the navel pulls in. Inhale, arch your back. And then exhale and round your back. Be really slow and mindful with your movements today. Do that one more time. Inhale, arch the back. And exhale and round. And then go ahead and take a child's pose. And if you can do a traditional one with your hands by your feet so your back feels really rounded, that would be great. I often encourage you to breathe so deep that you feel your low back expand, and I want you to do that. However, I want you to even keep breathing in past that. See if you can feel the backside of your body inflate from your tailbone to the back of the neck. And then we'll scoot forward into Sphinx. Regular traditional Sphinx, big toes touching, heels dropping open, spine lengthening, of course, and also heart opening. So the cool thing about directing your breath, even though you and I both know that our lungs are up here in our chest, when we imagine that we're breathing into other areas of the body, we can actually create tissue change, because where we focus, we increase blood flow. And from a yogic perspective, wherever blood flows, energy follows. So you're opening up the energy channels as well as increasing blood flow and oxygen to a body part. On your next exhale, take a downward facing dog. And as you get into your down dog, I want you to just pause, get some length in your spine, and then focus on the upper part of your torso. You should have space in your armpits, of course. You should have space in your upper chest, space in the upper back, which means you can't squeeze your shoulder blades together, and space between the ears and shoulders. In other words, zero compression, none. Walk your feet forward. Keep your knees slightly bent. Drape for a couple of breaths here. And in our ragdoll position, we're actually directing the breath up and down the spine, because we want the weight of the head to help us lengthen. It's like a weight hanging at the end of our spine. And every time we breathe out, there's a little more length that can possibly occur in the spine. On your next inhale, reach the arms all the way up and overhead, stretch up. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. So I want you to just release your hands down, Tadasana. And again, what we're looking for here is really immense openness throughout the entire upper torso. I know the old school way of thinking was, pull your shoulders back, stand up straight. But when you pull your shoulders back, you cause compression in the upper back. There is a perfect spot where everything is open. So just like we did when we were seated, I want you to find it standing. Center of the chest, your sternum, lift it up towards the ceiling. So you're gonna feel the front part of your rib cage lift ever so slightly. Just tuck the bottom points in. All that's doing is engaging your core. And then create some space in the upper back without too much effort, and let the arms hang. And just pause for a moment and see if you can breathe from your lower abdomen all the way up. You shouldn't feel any impediments to your breath at all until you get to the base of your throat. Palms together in front of the heart. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, back down. Step back with your left foot. Just hold your lunge for a moment. Drop your left knee down. I want you to bring your hands to the top of your right thigh. Tilt the pelvis, sink the hips forward. Find that stretch on the front of your left hip. And then I want you to bring your awareness back to your torso. So the left arm only is going to come up into the air. We keep that left shoulder down the back. So again, no shoulder squeezing by the ear, but then play with your torso. Everybody's going to feel a little different. I usually like to do kind of a combination of a backward and slight lean to the right. I want you to do whatever gives you the most length on the left side of your torso and allows you to feel it almost in that left armpit, around the side of the left shoulder blade. So the shoulder stays down, but that left arm really reaches. It's not a soggy arm. Lots of energy in your left arm. Find that gentle sensation of stretch, and then I want you to breathe in extra, extra deep. Think about that three-dimensional breath that we did before we got up, but I want you to think of where on the left side of your body can you tuck more air? Where can you sneak a little more air in? Go ahead and bring your left hand down to the mat. Take your right hand up to the ceiling. Lengthen your spine. If it feels okay, slightly roll the chest open. And then bring your right arm over your head, if you can, until it's parallel to the ground, keeping space between right ear and right shoulder, but reaching through that right arm. Now I want you to expand the right side of your torso. Bring your right hand down and outside the right foot. Fully extend your right leg if you can. Flex the ankle and toes. Pull your chest forward here. And I want you to look for that same sense of openness all the way around that we had when we were standing at the front of the mat. So you want the top part of your chest open, but I don't want you to squeeze the shoulder blades together. I want you to have space between there too. So your whole upper torso is open while your hamstring is stretching. Bring your right knee back to meet your left knee. Give yourself a tail wag. And those of you who do vinyasas know where to throw them in. We're going to move into child's pose. So breathing again in such a way that your entire backside of your torso inflates. And then scooting into Sphinx. At this point, if you would like to do Cobra, of course you may. And those of you doing vinyasas, you're welcome to do upward facing dog. Just be mindful of your breath in whatever variation of a flow you're doing. And then we'll move into downward facing dog. And again, once you find your alignment here, also find openness all the way around the upper torso. Step your left foot forward up between your hands. And then we'll drop the right knee down. Bring the hands to the top of the left thigh. Tuck the tailbone under a little bit. Let the hips move forward. Find the right hip sensation first. And then take the right arm up. And again, this is where we're just trying to really get the most out of the right side of our torso. So maybe you lean back, maybe you lean to the left. Pardon me. And then use your breath, direct it so that the entire right side of your body is inflated. And then we're going to take the right hand down to the ground, take the left hand up towards the ceiling. If it feels okay in your body, roll open a little bit. And then maintaining that openness, left arm over your head, almost like it's parallel to the ground, but there's still space between that left shoulder and ear. Now you're breathing into the right side of the torso. Sorry, left side of the torso. Left. Got my directions confused. Bring your left hand down to the mat and extend your left leg, flex the ankle and toes, pull your chest forward. And again, once you find the hamstring stretch, come back into awareness of space. Across the front of the chest, across the upper back, shoulders stay relaxed. Bend your left knee, step forward to a standing forward bend. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. Turn sideways on the mat. Wide side step. And so obviously you're going to take care of your body. I always say that, and I hope that you always do. But just a reminder, if any of this doesn't work for you, please do what is best for you. I want you to rotate your left foot in and your right foot out. Keep your right leg straight. So we're going to be going into a different variation of a triangle. I want your arms out to the side. Left hip kicks to the left. Right arm reaches to the right. You keep reaching and lengthening the right side of the spine, reaching and lengthening the right side of the spine, and then you just stop here and breathe into the back of the right thigh, inside of the right thigh, and all down the right side of your spine. You're going to come up from that, bend your right knee, so warrior two. Left hand on the left thigh, but today, flip your palm up so you can't really put any weight on it. Right arm reaches up and over for your reverse warrior, but you're not leaning on your left hand. Breathe all of your air into the right side of your torso. Use your breath here. And when you think you're full, you're not. Breathe in a little more. And then come on up, straighten your right leg, relax the arms, roll your shoulders back if you need to. Rotate your right foot in and your left foot out. Keep your left leg straight. Arms are out to the side, hips kick to the right, and then you reach through your left arm. You reach, you reach, you reach. You're trying to really lengthen the left side of the torso. Keep reaching, and then just stop. Breathe into your left leg, left side of the spine. It's like the whole left side of your body is going to get air. Come back up. Bend your left knee. So it's warrior two. Right hand goes to the right thigh, but today I want you to do it palm up so there's no weight on your right hand. Left arm up and over, so reverse warrior. Now all of your breath is going into the left side of the torso. Use your breath. Breathe in deeper than normal. Come back up, straighten your left leg, relax your arms, roll your shoulders back, and then point your feet forward. Hinge at your hips, just grab your elbows, relax your neck, and hang. Take a couple of breaths here. Hands to the mat. Walk your hands forward a little bit, but still kind of pull the tailbone back. It's sort of like, I always call it like a wide-legged down dog. Find stretch and length in the spine. And maintain that space on the front and back side of your upper torso. 2 extra deep 3-dimensional breaths here. Remember, you're just pausing to relax, trying to find anywhere else in the torso that you could sneak a little bit of extra air in. And then go ahead and walk the hands back onto the mat. Toe heel your feet together. Big inhale, arms up. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. So you're gonna bring your arms in front of you, palms are facing down. Take your right arm on bottom, left arm on top, and wrap if you can. If your shoulders are twitchy, backs of the hands can just face each other. Don't torque anything. If you have discomfort, don't do it. So from here, you want to really strongly pull the shoulders down the back, slightly lift the elbows up, but push them forward. You're going to feel a lot of space come between the shoulder blades. Use your breath. Send all of your air there into your upper back. When you think you're full, pause and relax and breathe in more. And then make one really slow, big circle in each direction with your elbows. That kind of lets you get into all the little nooks and crannies. Unwind your arms, palms are up towards the ceiling, out to the sides. Just start slowly reaching the arms back and lifting your heart so you get a little bit of a chest stretch. Send all of your air into your upper chest. And then come back up. Relax your arms down, roll your shoulders back, and we're gonna do the other side. So your arms are out in front of you. This time you're gonna take your left arm on the bottom, the right arm is on top. Wrap them, or just let the backs of the hands face each other. Shoulders pull down the back, elbows slightly lift and push forward. Breathe. Anywhere that you're feeling a stretch sensation or a sense of expansion, use your breath to expand it even more. And then we're going to do one big circle in the air with our elbows in each direction. Be mindful with your movements. If you're like me, there might be something crunchy in there. You breathe into it and release, and then unwind your arms. They're out to the side, palms are up. Lift the chest, reach back, open. Breathe into your upper chest. Come back up, relax your arms, roll your shoulders back, and then just from a standing position, right back into that super easy, gentle Tadasana, but making sure you feel space across the upper chest and the upper back. So chest is lifting, but a little bit of space between the shoulders. Arms are just hanging nice and relaxed. Now we're going to use our breath to find stability and a balance. Don't let the word balance mess with your head. Today, you're just going to nail it. So here's what we're going to do. Very simple. You're going to stand on one leg, and you can do a multitude of things here. You can grab behind the opposite thigh. You can grab that shin, or if you're super tight, you can grab your pants. All I want you to do is maintain a very vertical alignment. So what we're gonna do is just grab, and I don't care which leg you start on, that's fine. Grab behind the thigh or the shin or the pants. I want you to breathe in through the arch of the foot that you're standing on and let the breath go all the way up the spine through the crown of the head as though you've been pinned to the earth. You're being held up by your breath. You're being held up by the energy. You're creating stability, and then you can just release, put that foot down, and we'll do the other side. So you're just gonna be very straight and vertical. None of that changes. All that changes is we're picking a leg up. We're either hanging on behind it or in front of it or hanging onto the pants. Either one is fine. And then you breathe. You breathe in through the arch of the standing foot. You feel your muscles engage. You become very straight, very tall, very stable because your breath and the energy are holding you up. And then release your foot down. Feet together, palms together. Big inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale and fold forward. Inhale up halfway. Exhale back down. Move onto your hands and knees. We're going to be doing a half heart opener and then threading the needle, like on each side before we switch. So here's what I'd like you to do. You're going to take your left forearm across the front of the mat. Your forehead rests on your forearm. Your right arm reaches very strongly forward. Remember, your right arm needs to be totally straight. No bending that right elbow. And while you're reaching forward with the right arm, you're pulling back with the tailbone and then just kind of letting that right shoulder blade feel heavy. Where you should feel this is kind of a stretch in the right armpit. Obviously, we're going to send our breath there. We're going to breathe into the right side, letting the breath go all the way up into the right armpit and all the way down into the right side of the waist. Then all I want you to do is bring your right hand back, come back up onto your left hand, keep your left hand where it is. Take your right arm underneath you now and just press with that left hand, left elbow towards the ceiling. And you're just pressing to roll into the right shoulder blade. So you stretched the front side of the right side of your torso. Now you're stretching the back side. Breathe into that space behind your right shoulder blade. And then just come back out, hands and knees. Now we do the whole thing on the other side. Bring your right forearm across the front of the mat. Your forehead can rest on your right forearm. Your left arm reaches out in front of you very strongly. The tailbone pulls back and that left armpit starts to just kind of sink down towards the ground. Then you use your breath and expand the whole left side of your torso. And we're just going to bring the left hand back, come up onto the right hand. Now your left arm scoops underneath, right hand stays exactly where it is and you're just pushing with it. So no variations today. Straight, traditional, plain, vanilla, threading the needle. Just to get into the space behind your left shoulder blade, use your breath. And then coming out of that, give yourself a little tail wag, and then one final child's pose. Forehead down. If you can, your hands are back by your feet. One last time, I want you to try and do the deepest, fullest inhale that you can.
Breathing in, pausing to relax, breathing in more, pausing to relax, continuing to breathe in until the entire backside of your torso is inflated. And then you can scoot forward into a final Sphinx or Cobra, or even upward facing dog if that's what makes you happy. Couple of breaths. And then downward facing dog. And so of course you want to lengthen your spine. Of course you want to press your heels down. We want all of the benefits of the pose. And I still want you to be very mindful of space in the chest and space in the upper back. You may walk your feet forward, have a seat with your legs extended. Pause for a moment in Dandasana, staff pose. Hands on the ground right beside your backside to help you maintain that straight spine. Even here, you want to feel into your body. You want to feel that upper chest and upper back spaciousness. Shoulders are perfectly aligned, head is balanced. You're just checking in. How's the body, the thoughts, the emotions, the energy? How's it all going? And then keep the right leg straight. You're going to bring your left foot to the inside of the right thigh. Lean out over your right leg. Any way that you want to, by the way. Stretch. Wherever your left hand is, it's the perfect level for it to be, but I want you to move it to the outside or right side of the right side of your anatomy. So you're either grabbing your right foot or ankle or calf with your left hand, but it's on the outside part of your body. Then I want you to look at your left elbow that's in front of you and bend it. Even if it's a tiny amount, bend it and pull with a bent elbow, not a straight arm. Bend your elbow and then put your right hand by your hip and gently push while you're still pulling with your left arm, that bent left elbow. Push and start to look over right shoulder. Now you're going to have to fine tune this. You should feel this behind your left shoulder blade. You're either pulling more or twisting more or leaning more. You can find the right spot for it. And then of course, you're going to use your breath. Coming up from that, just pick your left knee up. You're going to grab hold of your left knee with your right arm, lift the chest for that super straight spine, and keep hanging on for at least a moment, because I want you to take your left arm around behind you pretty far, lift the chest and begin to twist and see if you can get to a point where there's no compression or tightness on the back side of your left shoulder. Feel free to bring that right arm outside of that left leg at any point if you've twisted that far around. So once you get into your twist, you still feel space. Front of the left shoulder and back of the left shoulder. Rotate back around, extend your left leg. Bring your right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Just lean out of your left leg, however you would like. Let your right hand move to the outside edge of your left, whatever. You're either grabbing your left foot, your ankle, your calf, but your right hand's on the outside of it. You look at your right elbow and actually bend it. It's so important to do that. Even if it's a tiny bend, right elbow bends, and then you pull. Then you put your left hand by your hip to push a little bit to twist and look over the left shoulder. Again, fine tune this by pulling or twisting or pushing a little more until you feel this behind the right shoulder blade, and then use your breath. Come on up from that. Pick your right leg up and just hug your right knee with your left arm. That helps you maintain the straight spine so that you can reach your right arm around behind you, and then keep trying to rotate and twist until you get equal space on the front and back of the right shoulder. You can bring your left arm outside of the right knee or thigh if you like, but you don't have to. So we're working on lots of space on the front and back side of your right shoulder. Rotate back around, extend your right leg out. Give both legs a good wiggle. And then very intentionally, we're gonna round and curl forward over our legs. Be very mindful, please, if you have neck issues. I'd like you to tuck your chin into that little notch in your collarbone. So technically, this is an energy lock. It's called Jalandhara Bandha. You're kind of locking off the energy to keep it in the torso, which in this case is a good thing. Then very slowly, we start to round and curl forward as though we're going to put the top of the head on the knees. Go slow, and when you feel like you're at a good point, you pause and you breathe into all the places that you feel sensation. And then come on up from that. Bring your hands behind you, fair amount. All we're gonna do is just kind of the reverse of that. Lift the chest, push it forward. Your head may remain neutral, or you can drop the head back, whatever feels better for you. Breathe right into the center of your chest. Try and expand yourself even farther forward and up. And then come on up from that. Just like that, you get to roll down onto your back and hug your knees in. Rock side to side. We're going to move into bridge pose now. And if you need to do this with a block under you for support, that's fine. But if you can, I'd like you to do it on your own. We're going to do this to really open up the front side of the torso. This will be our last front torso opener. And I would ask you, even if you normally interlace your fingers behind your back, don't do that today because I don't want any compression in the shoulder blades. It's gonna feel a little different. So feet are flat. In fact, you can even have your feet parallel today. It's not that much about the hips. So whatever works for you, but your palms should be flat by your sides. Before you lift up, very frequently, in bridge, we talk about pinning the shoulder blades together, or like when we interlace our fingers. I want you to do the opposite today. Create space between your shoulder blades. And then begin to lift the hips and lift the rib cage. It's not going to be as big or bendy a bridge. That's okay. We want space on both sides of the upper torso. Do your best with the lift here and then use your breath. I'd like you to take 3 of those dimensional breaths. That means you breathe in until you think you're full. You pause, you relax, and you breathe in even more. When you finish your last breath, lower down. Give those knees a big squeeze, rounding your back. side to side rock, nice yummy rock to massage the low back. And then we're just gonna do a super gentle twist here, keeping the knees bent and together. Drop them to the right. Let your left arm open out to the left. You don't need to worry about whether your knees are stacked or anything. I want this to be a very relaxed and soft twist for you. If it's all right with your neck, your head turns to the left. What you should feel is openness, of course, on the left side of the chest, but also the left side of the low back because you're really relaxed in the pose. Upper shoulder on the left side, front and back is relaxed. Then we're gonna play with our breath again. We're gonna breathe into the left side of the chest, the left rib cage, the left armpit, front of the left shoulder, left side of the waist, and even down a little bit into the left hip, and then relax and exhale. 2 more breaths like that if you can. The next time you inhale, bring your knees back up, and as you exhale, you can just drop them over to the left. Let your right arm open out to the right. So remember, again, this is a really relaxed, easy twist. No straining, no stressing, no trying to keep your knees stacked. I want you to feel into the right side of your upper torso. You should have space on the front and back side of your right upper torso. So make sure your right shoulder's not compressed, right? And then again, I want you to really feel into this and start using your breath. So as you breathe in, you're gonna feel the breath going into the right side of your chest, the right rib cage. I want you to keep breathing into the right armpit and into the right side of the waist, and maybe even into the right hip. And then do that 2 more times. On your next inhale, bring your legs back up. Give them a big hug, rock side to side. And then just place your feet on the mat, let the knees drop open. On your next inhale, press your low back into the mat. Hold it while you breathe out. Hold it while you breathe in. And on your next exhale, just relax. Let the curve come back into the spine. 1 more time, inhale, flatten your back. And then exhale and release it. And just like that, begin to extend your legs, separating the feet gently, easing your way into Shavasana. So just not a lot of movement here, just a nice, relaxed transition. As you find your way into the best position for Shavasana, just close your eyes and give yourself over to this surrender to the breath. You don't have to control your breath. You don't have to manipulate your breath. Your breath will happen all by itself, and you don't have to do anything. And then I want you to start imagining that your breath is coming in through the crown of your head. You can imagine it as a beautiful bright white light, or maybe you can feel it, or you can talk yourself through it. But you're breathing in from the crown of the head all the way down to your tailbone.
And you're exhaling from your tailbone all the way back up and out the crown of the head. So you're walking your breath up and down the spine. Inhaling all the way to your tailbone, exhaling back out the top of the head. Then you're going to inhale through the crown of the head, all the way down to the tailbone. And as you exhale, let the breath come part of the way up the spine, but then it's going to split and shoot down the arms and hands and exit through the tips of the fingers and thumbs. So you're inhaling through the crown of the head, all the way to your tailbone, exhaling back up and out, both arms and hands. Inhaling through the crown of the head, all the way down to the base of the spine. Now you allow the breath to split and exit out both legs and the arches of both feet. Inhaling from the top of the head to the tailbone, exhaling down both legs and out the soles of the feet. Now I want you to inhale through the top of the head, all the way down to the base of the spine. And this time as you exhale, your breath splits into 5 directions. It shoots down both legs and out the soles of the feet. It goes back up and out both arms and the tips of the fingers and thumbs. And part of it goes back up and out the crown of the head. So you're inhaling in one column of energy from the crown of the head to the base of the spine. And you're exhaling and allowing it to split 5 ways. You're exhaling out the soles of the feet, the tips of the fingers, and the crown of the head. And now finally, inhaling through the crown of the head, all the way to the base of the spine. But as you exhale, I want you to imagine that you are exhaling through every single pore in your body. Literally full body exhales. Inhaling through the crown of the head to the base of the spine, exhaling through every pore and opening in your body. Allow your breath to come back to the pattern that you know it to be. Inhaling through your nose and into your lungs and exhaling back out through the nose. Notice how your body feels. Notice any thought patterns, any emotions. Notice your energy right now. Start to move the extremities a little bit, fingers and toes, deepen your breath. Today, as you feel ready, you're just going to inhale and do a nice full body stretch, and then exhale. Gently pull the knees in so that you can roll to your right side and rest there for a moment. And then use your left hand in front of your chest and press up into sitting. And so as you come to your seated position, just come back to that same alignment from the very beginning of class with a nice straight spine. The shoulders are relaxed. You have space in the upper chest and you have space in the upper back. Everything is spacious. For our breath work, we're going to be doing true traditional Nadi Shodhana, which is an alternate nostril breath. I'll talk you through the first one and then just kind of turn you loose from there for a couple more, because I feel like you've done this enough that you can handle it on your own. I'm gonna do it as an equal ratio breath. In other words, a 6-second inhale and a 6-second exhale. If that's too long for you, please shorten the breath. If it's too short for you, then when I turn you loose after the first round, you can just do whatever length works for you. Your right hand is the hand that should be used to block the nostrils. So you can either take the first 2 fingers of your right hand and put them in the center of your forehead, or you can tuck them under the pad of the thumb and bring those 2 fingers underneath the nostrils. Either way, right thumb blocks right nostril, right ring and pinky finger block left. So I'll talk you through the first round and then I'll have you do a couple more. Take a deep breath in through both nostrils. Exhale completely through both. Inhale through just the left side. Exhale through the right side. Inhale through the right side. Exhale through the left side. That's 1 round. Do 2 more on your own. So just noticing one more time how your body feels, any thought processes, any emotions. Notice your energy. And then we bring our palms together in front of our hearts. We can be grateful today for this practice. Most importantly, we can be grateful for our breath. Each breath that we are given is an immense gift. We should not take any of them for granted. We're so blessed to be breathing the breath that we're breathing right now together on this planet. Take 1 more huge inhale through your nose. Happy sigh. We bring our palms together at our foreheads. It reminds us to stay in the moment, to stay present. We bring our palms together in front of our mouths. That's a reminder to speak our truth. And when we bring our palms together in front of our hearts, it's a reminder to keep our hearts open so that we can always, always be kind, compassionate, and loving. Thank you guys for joining me today. Namaste.